Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. Today we're going to be breaking down 4 possible trades the Lakers could make this offseason. I'm Hannah Kulik, aka Lakerhan. You can follow me on Twitter at Hannah_Kulik and on Instagram at HannahRoseKulik. Okay, so obviously everyone knows the plan for the Lakers this offseason is to sign a star free agent, and I don't mean to be a negative Nancy, but that may not happen. We have to be realistic. It is much easier said than done, especially now that Magic Johnson is gone. It is going to be a little bit harder to convince one of these star free agents to come and sign with the purple and gold. But even if we do sign a star free agent, the Lakers still have a lot of work to do, as the only players who are currently under contract next season are LeBron James, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart. And especially if they don't end up signing that star free agent, you can definitely expect the Lakers to be willing to part ways with pretty much the entire young core, as we saw earlier on this past season when they were trying to trade for Anthony Davis in order to sign some sort of a star. So let's take a look at some of the Lakers' trade assets right now. Currently right now they have the 11th pick in the NBA draft. There is that slight chance that we could move up in the draft a little bit, but as of now we're just going to assume that we have the 11th pick, which is still a very attractive pick. I just want to remind you all that actually Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker were selected 13th overall, and obviously those two young guys are complete stars and had instant success, so you can definitely get a good player at the 11th pick. We also have our entire young core, like I just mentioned. We have Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, who have shown a lot of potential. Of course, there are still a little bit of some question marks regarding their health and if they are going to develop into the stars that they were originally advertised. But nonetheless, they are still two very attractive players. We also have Kyle Kuzma, who was reportedly promised by Rob Pelinka that he would not be traded unless it was for a top 3 player. And of course, we have Josh Hart, who definitely does still have a lot to prove, but does still hold some trade value, of course. But like I said earlier, if there is a player that is available, the Lakers are going to be willing to trade pretty much everyone on the roster. So really the only player that is truly 100% safe is, of course, LeBron James. Let's take a quick look at some of the things the Lakers need to try to pick up. Obviously, we need shooters, we need scorers, we need a shooting guard, a stretch 5 center, and it also wouldn't help us to have a high-scoring point guard, whether that be a backup point guard playing behind Lonzo Ball, or if Lonzo is no longer with the team or for some reason he is unable to remain healthy, a starting point guard. But either way, the Lakers' main concern this offseason is picking up some players who can put the ball in the hoop. Now, players who are expected to be traded this summer are Kevin Love, Hassan Whiteside, Reggie Jackson, Andrew Wiggins, and Aaron Gordon. And while those are all talented players, they don't exactly fit what the Lakers are looking for. So here are 4 players that I think the Lakers should target to try to trade for this offseason. But before we get into these 4 players, I want to take a quick second to remind you all to subscribe to the Chat Sports YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button down below because it is going to be a very exciting offseason for Laker fans, and I want to make sure that you do not miss a single second of it. Alrighty, now for the players I would like to see the Lakers target this summer. Coming in at number 4, we have Mike Conley. Now, Mike Conley is a great point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, and he honestly may be the best point guard that no one ever talks about. A few years ago, he teamed up with Marc Gasol to make the Grizzlies a contender in the West, but Marc Gasol is no longer with the team, and the team is really in a rebuilding mode, so it doesn't really make sense for them to keep Mike Conley around. They may be interested in moving him, possibly trading him to the Lakers, if it means picking up some of the Lakers' talented young pieces. And while he's previously had injury problems, this season he was able to play in 70 games, and at age 31, he really did have his best season yet. Obviously, he is a high scorer. He would provide the Lakers with a lot of scoring. The one thing that I do want to point out is that he does have 2 more years left on that max salary, so it could be a problem for the Lakers if they do also sign that big star free agent this summer. But if they do skip out on free agency, then Mike Conley may be a good trade for them to make. He would complement LeBron James nicely. obviously provide us with a ton of scoring. He's not the perfect fit for the Lakers, but he could definitely be a very interesting target if, again, they do miss out in free agency. Number 3 on our list, we have DeMar DeRozan. Now, this one is a little bit more of speculation, as there haven't really been any rumors regarding him being traded this summer. However, for the right package, it may happen. Now, DeMar DeRozan had a great, outstanding career in Toronto, and he was honestly like the face of the franchise before shockingly being traded to San Antonio for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green last summer. DeRozan's 29 years old, and he had a great season for the San Antonio Spurs. He averaged 21.2 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 6 assists. He's a great free throw shooter. The only thing he's not very good at is his three-point shooting. However, welcome to the Lakers. No one can really shoot from 3. He still is an extremely talented player. Now, the Spurs have obviously enjoyed a long stretch being at the top of the Western Conference, but all of those players are gone now. Kawhi Leonard, who was supposed to keep that trend going for them, is gone as well. We saw them lose in the first round of the playoffs this season, so obviously they are not the elite team that they once were. So they may be looking to possibly pick up some young new pieces in order to help rebuild for the future, get them back on top again eventually. We also do have to mention that the Spurs have reached a 3-year contract extension with head coach Gregg Popovich, so it seems unlikely that they just want to completely blow up the whole team and start from scratch. You have a talented head coach like Gregg Popovich, who's used to always being in charge of a winning team. Also, Gregg Popovich is a great guy, but he's not the biggest Laker fan, so he's not going to want to do the Lakers any favors and trade with them. However, if for some reason DeMar DeRozan is suddenly available, he is definitely a player the Lakers should look to trade for. So after discussing these first 2 players, I'm curious, which player do you think is a better fit for the Lakers, Mike Conley or DeMar DeRozan? Let me know down in the comments below, because I'm curious to what you guys have to say. Now, before we get to our top 2 possible trades for the Lakers this offseason, I want to take a quick second to remind you all to give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram if you want to just keep up with all things Lakers this summer, or if you want to get in shape this summer. I also love to post workout videos and fitness tips on my Instagram as well, so make sure to give me a follow on Twitter at Hannah_Kulik and on Instagram at Hannah Rose Kulik. Moving on, at number 2 on our list, we have Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal is an outstanding shooting guard for the Washington Wizards, and in my opinion is pretty unappreciated. Now, he may not be the biggest name on this list, but in my opinion he's the best fit for the Lakers and their future. He's young, so it would provide security for their future. His stats continue to go up every year. Last season he averaged 25.6 points per game, 5.5 assists, and 5 rebounds, while also shooting 35% from 3-point range. Apparently he doesn't get along well with John Wall, and obviously, as we all know, the Washington Wizards aren't going anywhere anytime soon, so it may be wise for them, and they may be more inclined to want to trade Beal in order to get some young talented players in order to help them rebuild for their future. The only thing about possibly trading for Bradley Beal is that it may be costly, and while I am definitely 100% all for trading for him if it means just trading the pick, Josh Hart, and then one of either Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, or Kyle Kuzma, I have a feeling they may possibly be asking for a little bit more. So I'm curious, what would your trade package be in order to get Bradley Beal? Do you think that what I'm asking for, just the pick, Josh Hart, and then one of Lonzo Ball or Ingram, is good? Or do you think, you know what, we need to be willing to part with more than that? Let me know down in the comments below. Alright, coming in at number 1 on our list of who the Lakers will likely target to try to trade for this summer, we have, I'm sure you all could have guessed it, Anthony Davis. Now, one of the biggest storylines in general this summer is just going to be whether or not the Pelicans actually decide to trade Davis. Now, I'm sure us Laker fans remember what happened this past season with Anthony Davis. He signed with Clutch Sports, and rumors started swirling that that meant he wanted to come join the Lakers and play with LeBron James. He apparently demanded a trade. The Lakers reportedly offered pretty much their entire roster to try to get him, and the information was leaked. The Pelicans ended up not trading him, and the Lakers were extremely embarrassed, and in my opinion, that was kind of the demise of the Lakers season. The young players couldn't get over the fact that they were going to be traded. The chemistry was just ruined. It caused a whole bunch of unnecessary drama, and really the Lakers season was just entirely ruined. But look for them to try to do that all over again this summer in order to acquire Anthony Davis. The Pelicans do have a new front office who is obviously going to be trying their hardest to re-sign Anthony, but if he still says no, then there are going to be a lot of teams this summer entering the Anthony Davis sweepstakes. One of the teams we have to look out for are the Boston Celtics, because they have a lot that they could trade the Pelicans for in order to receive him. They have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, and a ton of draft picks. So in my opinion, that's the biggest competition for the Lakers. But needless to say, if Anthony Davis is going to still be traded, then every team in the league is going to try to get him, because he is a top 5 player. One could even argue that he is a top 3 player in this league. He's truly one of those guys that is a game changer if he comes on your team. Now, if Davis does just want to come play for the Lakers, and if these rumors are true, then he could tell these other teams that are trying to trade for him, listen, you can trade for me, but next summer during free agency, I'm going to sign with LA. Then maybe possibly that'll make some teams back down, and that'll open up some space for the Lakers, or that'll just provide some security for the Lakers moving forward. However, we have seen the same thing happen with Paul George, so I don't know if the Lakers are going to want to risk it. It's up to them. I still have a little bit of trauma from the whole Paul George situation, but Anthony Davis and Paul George are two completely different players, two completely different guys. Obviously, like I said, Anthony Davis is truly a tremendous player, top 5 player in the league right now. He's a perfect fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's that stretch 5 center, and on reduced minutes this past season, he still averaged almost 26 points per game and 12 rebounds. So he's an unbelievable player. Expect the Lakers to try to pull out all the stops, trade the entire farm in order to acquire him. But I'm curious, do you guys think the Lakers actually have a shot of trading for Anthony Davis? And do you even want them to try again after they were so embarrassed this past season? I kind of have mixed emotions on this, because obviously for a player like Anthony Davis, you should try to continue to go after him and do everything in your power to get him. However, I do still have such a bad taste in my mouth from what happened this past season. I just get nervous because it really did, like I said, destroy the Lakers season, and I don't want them to continue to be embarrassed. But I don't think the Lakers care. I think they're gonna try to go for it if they have even the slightest chance of acquiring him. That is going to be it for today. Those are 4 possible trades that the Lakers could possibly make this offseason. But I'm curious, are there any other players you would like to see join the purple and gold this summer? Let me know down here in the comments on Chat Sports YouTube, or you can also message me on Twitter at Hannah_Kulik, or on Instagram at Hannah Rose Kulik. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, Laker Han is out. Bye guys.